Since May 3rd, there has been a series of violence and many incidents has occurred. Nearly 40,000 people have been displaced. Many cookies from the valley have gone to the hills and vice versa. There has been violent incidents where people have been killed. The BJP government has failed to protect the public.
Put up flashlights. I remember this clearly. I was trying to jump over a wire that was hanging low, and the very first thing I see when my flashlight hits the railway track was a severed head. Severed head that had been so disfigured that that particular scene actually will make the strongest of people even weak in them.
इस तरह के आरोप एलिगेशन उनके ऊपर लगे हैं and still they are not getting any reward from the government. So I don't think so कि there is democracy now, because अगर होता तो I think somebody will come and support them. They will ask them कि like भैया क्या problem क्या है, दिक्कत क्या है, कहाँ problem हुई.
It's not a one-off. It's not. I'm not just talking about India. I'm talking about the rest of the world. Not just wrestling, all sports. I guarantee you that it's an epidemic.
There is a clear defect in our system, and this notion that ragging is a small bit of fun between seniors and juniors, maybe it was true 50 years ago, it's not true anymore. Ragging is a form of violence.
23 students have been lost in Rajasthan's Kota city this year alone. Considered the coaching hub, the coaching capital of the country, this is now becoming infamous as the city where children are dying by suicide.
If you talk to Pakistan, it is feasible, I'm not saying it's certain, it is feasible that we could arrive at some kind of solution. But if we don't talk to them, if we don't engage with Pakistan, if we don't have a dialogue with them, as we have not had for the last 9 years, then of course the problem will get aggravated. And so long as Pakistan is an albatross around our necks, there is no hope whatsoever for India to become a Vishwa Guru.
Corporates in India are using litigation left and right to ensure that nobody speaks about them, nobody writes about them. Like Josie Joseph, one of the most leading investigators in India, he has a case of rupees 2,000 crore put by Jet Airways. Now, does Jet Airways think that at some point Josie Joseph, even if he loses the case, can give him 2,000 crores? No, Jet Airways 100% knows that he cannot give it. The point of giving a case is that you intimidate. You are sending a message to other journalists to not write. So corporates across India are using, so therefore not just one group anymore, it's almost everybody.
The job of journalists is to be critical and to hold power to account, and that doesn't mean holding only the opposition to account, right? So you now see a mainstream media and TV in particular that's completely sort of, when it was asked to bend, it didn't just crawl, it's just literally prostrated. We've just forgotten what the media's job is supposed to be. We're not here to be cheerleaders of the government. We're here to ask questions. We're supposed to be asking questions.
We will now go further. The next film, the first few films of the genre, you could argue for them. There will be films that will be much more politically controversial, films that will target Muslims and other communities. What do liberals do then? Do we still take the same line? Do we say it's fine, let these be shown, we're liberals? Or do we say, no, this one has gone too far? If you say it's gone too far, then you have to have a line. I don't think we have a line.
Freedom of speech or freedom of expression applies to all kinds, including those that may be deeply offensive. While national and international law protect free speech, there are instances where speech can legitimately be restricted under the same law, such as when it violates the rights of others or advocates hatred and incites discrimination or violence. On Twitter, on social media, when people start abusing each other under the garb of freedom of speech and expression, they must realize that what they are doing is attacking the freedom of speech and expression of another person, and that's not allowed.
तरीके से जो एक सिचुएशन हो गई थी, ऐसा लग रहा था कि शायद से मैं पार्टिसिपेट ना कर पाऊं, या फिर ऐसा लग रहा था कि मैं 100% फिट नहीं हो पाऊंगा, और उसके बावजूद वहां पे खेले और एक मेंटली और स्ट्रोंग हुआ मैं इस बार। अगर थोड़ा बहुत इतनी अच्छी तैयारी नहीं थी, फिर भी परफॉर्मेंस सही रही। अगर नेक्स्ट ईयर या अगले टाइम में, और जब मैं अगले कुछ सालों में खेलता रहूंगा, तो अगर और अच्छी तैयारी होगी तो फिर कितनी थोड़ा अच्छी लग सकती है। तो वो एक पॉजिटिव खुद के अंदर एक वो मैसेज गया।
If you are aiming at performance, then this journey becomes really tough. And so it's really important to go the other way, to probably do this process in a much happier phase and let the results take care of it. I might not have too many years playing at the top. I have to be grateful to the fact saying that I'm playing at such a good level at this time, and a lot of players have not been able to do that.
Private leagues, according to me, are organized only for the sake of corruption, not for the sake of popularizing cricket. It is organized primarily to be live streamed on YouTube or on any TV channel, following which betting immediately commences.
Whole Asia अगर पूरा consider करे तो compared to the rest of the world, there is such a huge divide in the way we have access to technology and usage of assistive devices. And with that limitation, there are people performing, giving their 100%, giving their best.
In and of itself, revisions are not a big deal. They're a very normal activity. Although what's happening now is that this seems very political, which is why I suppose more and more people seem to suspect that this is not purely an academic exercise. So once you take something like textbooks and then meddle around and sort of mess around with them, there is a real risk that things that deserve a certain amount of attention get deflated. I mean that at some point in the distant future, if somebody genuinely starts believing Taj Mahal was Tejo Mahalaya, I wouldn't be too surprised.
Are we now, some sort of habitual offenders in a sense?
I don't think we would want to acknowledge that, right? If you look at data dispassionately, look at what has happened in the Gambia, look at what happened in Uzbekistan, look at what happened in Yemen, and look at what is happening in the United States. You cannot, if you look at the data dispassionately, I don't know what are the conclusion that you can come to. That it's not just we don't pay attention to it, we just don't understand the impact of what this is doing to us.
I have neither sensationally nor unsensationally ever claimed that Sheena is alive.
Seeing that, if you had, as you said, such a close bond, a good bond, why would she not turn up seeing your predicament?
Jyotsna, that is an answer, honestly, I cannot give you. That is an answer if and wherever Sheena is, if she's alive and she's there. That is something I have asked this question several times.
System unko dustbin mein nahi dal sakta. That is the compulsion of the system. वो रहेंगे सोसाइटी के सेंटर में। रेजिस्टेंस जैसे किसानों ने अपना मोर्चा जीता है, तो ऐसे ही when people get more and more, conscious of their ideas, more and they keep on following more and more ideas. If they keep on start following, relevance here है, rather much more relevance.
That actually we are ignoring and taking it for granted that women are somehow immune from heart problems. No, there is a theory that the estrogen in their younger days gives some amount of protection. But today with the stress, changing lifestyle, smoking and so many things, that protection is weakened. But once the menopause comes near, that protection is off. And so it's not very uncommon to be seeing plenty of females in 1 month coming with heart attacks and these coronary artery problems.
The amount of films which are being made, 90% of them are not pretty meaningful. It's like fast food, it's good on the tongue, but it's not necessarily good for your health. It is tasty on the tongue, but if you keep consuming it, it is extremely bad for your health. Most of the Indian cinema is like fast food.
I remember when me and Suvinder sir we were doing a scene where both of these guys sit down and they're drinking and sharing their woes and stuff like that. And so I spoke the way I spoke. Suvinder Paji, he's far more subtler than I am as well. And I was like, this is gonna cut hoga, and obviously everyone's gonna come rushing to us, and everyone's the sound recorders, the director, everyone's gonna be like, "Hey, guy, if you can speak up a little, enunciate a little and stuff like that." Everyone came in and they were like, "That was brilliant." And I was like, this is exactly where we belong, all of us. I mean, everyone just fit in so brilliantly. I mean, the actors, it was such a joy performing in this show.
नहीं, ब्रीफ ऐसा तो कुछ नहीं था, क्योंकि पंजाबी बंदे हैं, पंजाब पुलिस का कैरेक्टर था, बाकी फैमिली वाले हैं तो फैमिली की प्रॉब्लम्स भी समझते हैं। जब स्क्रिप्ट पढ़ी तो था उसमें काफ़ी कुछ जिसको लेके, मतलब जिस पे रिसर्च किया जा सकता था या जिसको ढूंढा जा सकता था, इसको कि पुलिस वालों से मिलना जुलना हो गया, कुछ दोस्त भी हैं उनसे बात हुई, लेकिन फाइनली फिर यही डिसाइड किया अपने आप से कि आई हैव टू सर्च दिस कैरेक्टर फ्रॉम माय इनसाइड ओनली। तो फिर सुविंदर के अंदर से बलबीर निकला।
सिनेमा का कोई लैंग्वेज नहीं होती। अगर मैं कर सकता हूँ, मैं तेलुगु बोल सकता हूँ, मैं तमिल कर सकता हूँ, कन्नड़ा कर सकता हूँ। आई एम एंटरिंग टू मलयालम नाउ। आई फिनिश माय 2 Marathi films. I have 1 Bangladeshi film in my pocket. So अगर मैं कर सकता हूँ तो आप भी कर सकते हो।
Every actor you are seeing today has had experience in acting or being on a film set at a very young age. Even Amir uncle, for the matter of fact. Here I am trying to do my best and associate with the right films that kind of connect with the audience. They'll see a difference. Maybe they'll be surprised. और फिर आगे जाकर other projects will show more growth. You get to grow with your audience.
I think like a phoenix, yeah. I keep rising from the ashes. I've hit rock bottom too many times. Too many times. Financially, emotionally, physically, everything. And every time I've hit rock bottom, I've decided, I realize there's nowhere further down you can go, yeah. I mean, that much low I've gone. The only way to go is up from there. So scratch, climb, get back on top and stand up tall and say, I've managed to get out of it.
48 hours आप बिना खाए पिए, बिना सही से सोए, प्रॉपर न्यूट्रिशन ना लिए, आप कैसे सर्वाइव कर पाते हो? तो मेरी पूरी बॉडी ड्रेन हो चुकी थी एंड मेरे में बिल्कुल भी एनर्जी नहीं। मैं आपको पता नहीं कैसे मैंने अपने दिमाग को बना के रखा था, कुछ भी हो जाए मुझे नीचे जाना है, क्योंकि मैं जितना अल्टीट्यूड नीचे आऊंगी वो उतना ऑक्सीजन मुझे मिलेगा और साथ में मुझे एनर्जी आएगी। तो इतना करके मैं अपने आप को नीचे की तरफ ड्रैग कर हेलुसिनेशन स्टार्ट हो चुका था। हेलुसिनेशन में तो होता है ऐसा है, आपको हेलुसिनेशन मतलब खुली आंखों से सपने आना स्टार्ट होते हैं। ये आपका अनकॉन्शियस माइंड होता है जो इस तरह की चीजें करता है। तो सेम मेरे साथ हो रहा था उस टाइम।
Physically, I might be able to go through a day quite okay, but it takes a lot of not just medication, but it takes a lot of mental kind of strength and willpower to sort of come up with what seems like a very normal appearance. And everybody thinks of cancer and they think, okay, it's a physical disease, you take the medicines and you get on with managing the side effects and that's it. But that's actually not true. The whole mental, psychological aspect of this is huge, and also relationships.
तो ये फर्स्ट टाइम था कि एक आम बंदा, एक बाइकर, एक ट्रैवलर बाइक पे जा रहा है और वो उसी तरह से एक रॉ फॉर्म में दिखा रहा है जैसे लोग आपसे मिल रहे हैं। तो आई प्रोबेबली ये लोगों को एक बहुत अच्छा लगा, एक बहुत अच्छा स्टेप था टुवर्ड्स के लोग दोनों साइडों के अच्छे हैं और एक कोशिश होनी चाहिए कि हम किसी तरह अपने दरमियान ये दूरियां जो हैं इनको कम कर सकें।
सो ये हमारे लिए सबसे बड़ा चेंज, मेरे लिए पर्सनली यही है कि पहले जिन सेलिब्रिटीज के हम 10-10 साल 12-15 साल फोटो खींच रहे हैं, उनको कुछ पता ही नहीं है कौन हमारे आगे फोटो खींचता है, कौन है, कैसे है। वो बस आते थे, पोज करते थे, चले जाते थे। उनका एक अलग एटीट्यूड, एक अलग ईगो। बट अभी सोशल मीडिया के बाद टोटली चेंज हो गया। ईच एंड एवरी सेलिब्रिटी को पता है कि ये कौन फोटोग्राफर है, इस फोटोग्राफर के क्या फॉलोअर्स हैं, इसकी क्या वैल्यू है। तो रिस्पेक्ट वाइज बहुत ज्यादा अभी चेंज आया है।
We often recount the instance of Iqbal Bano during Zia's regime.
where she, used the sari as a symbol of rebellion. So the sari has also been stereotyped in that sense that, okay, you're not allowed to wear it in many places, but when you want to talk of rebellion, then you don the sari and you come. These are few instances. During the time that I was at college, I barely saw anybody just come up in a sari to university. But now, when I revisited LUMS, I did see a lot of undergrads, like I saw the presence of the sari. I see that there's change coming up.
Yes, I have 3 dogs. One is a lovely Cocker Spaniel, and I have 2 golden retrievers. So I love my dogs. Like, they're just the best creatures in the world. I don't socialize much, as you know. Well, I used to work till 10 o'clock at night in office, in TV. But now I sleep at 10. Yesterday I slept at 9:30. I mean, shame on me.
I don't know this, Nidhi.
What happened
I
to
don't
me?
want to know her.